Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm here to do another period video with you all. So this period I decided not to do a cup review, only because I've been doing so many of them and because I've been getting so many requests to talk about another period panty since I did the THINX panty review over the summer months ago. And I didn't have a period panty that I wanted to talk about because the other brand that I tried I wasn't a huge fan of, but I recently got a brand that I really like. So for those of you who don't know about my THINX period panty review, I will leave that linked up here somewhere and down below. Since that review, I've kind of had a little just bit of a personal opinion of the business, like my opinions of how the product worked hasn't changed, but my opinions on just the company and the product itself has changed, if that makes sense. I've talked about this in other videos. I like the THINX underwear a lot. I'm not gonna lie, they do work, but I was really disappointed that after my video came out, which I don't know for a fact if there's a correlation between it coming out and all the things that happened after, but it just, in my personal opinion, I already felt like the underwear were kind of priced a little bit higher than they should be, or at least on the higher end. And after my video came out and I started selling a ton of pairs of underwear through my coupon code, because I get emailed every single time a purchase is made, they raised their prices by a considerable amount. Like, I think they were like in the 20s and now they're in the 30s, which I think is just really, is a shame, because, you know, that just seems really expensive to me. Like, I get that it is replacing pads and stuff like that and you save money, but I just don't really see where that huge price jump came from, and I don't know. So since then, I also was really frustrated because when I was doing that video, I was trying to find a discount code for you guys, and they sent me 2 pairs to review. So if you remember back in that video, I was washing them and rewashing them, all of that. And what ended up happening was when they sent them to me, they were like, oh, and here's a 5% coupon, and here's a $5 coupon code for your subscribers. And when I was looking online, their website, it said that there was a $10 off coupon, but it was like a referral thing. So if somebody bought the underwear through your link, they would save $10 and you would get a $10 coupon. And so I was not interested in the coupons for myself. I could care less about them because you can only use one on each like purchase and you still have to pay shipping. So for me, it's not really a huge deal. It wasn't really saving me money. I didn't really care. But what drove me nuts was when I emailed the PR person and said, hey, like, there's a $10 coupon code. Can't I just use this instead of the $5 coupon code? She was like, oh, well, we don't do that program anymore. So after I logged out of my account and remade a new one, sure enough, that referral code thing worked for me. So the whole, like, being weird about the coupon code and wanting to give like a little bit when they could have given 10, and then lying to me and saying that that referral code thing doesn't work when in reality it does. All of that, and coupled with the fact that they raised their prices, just put a really sour taste in my mouth when it came to that. I feel like, you know, THINX underwear is just a great idea, but they aren't actually the forefront like creators of period panties. They didn't discover them. They didn't like create, like, it wasn't their grand idea. Period panties have actually been around for a while, and the only reason why I didn't know about that was because the advertising for them hasn't been as strong as what THINX does, which THINX is like in your face, women empowerment and all of this. Another thing that frustrated me is when I signed up for an account to do the referral code for you guys, I get snowballed like every day with just like spam email from them. So long story short, I know this is not supposed to be a video about THINX. I do want to say that I did like the THINX underwear. I still like them. I still use the pairs that I got for review. I still use the 3 that I bought after that. I bought a thong, I bought a hipster, and then 2 more hipsters because I do like them. But I'm excited because I finally found another brand that I like just as much, if not more, and they are more affordable. So I'm gonna really quickly talk to you about the 2 pairs that I did try since the THINX underwear, because a lot of you guys have been asking me about the underwear that I received in that menstrual product haul. Sorry, the lighting is like going in and out, but a lot of you guys asked me about those and what I thought about them. I have tried them. They are the Anigan brand, if you'll recognize these from that haul video. I mentioned in that video that I was a little concerned that they weren't gonna be as absorbent because unlike the THINX and the other brand that I'm about to show you, they're very thin. There's no real like padding throughout, so The thickness doesn't change throughout the underwear, so I was a little concerned that maybe they wouldn't be absorbent. And sure enough, that is true. They aren't very absorbent at all. But these are marketed and sold for leaking. They're not supposed to be in place of a tampon. They're not supposed to be in place of a menstrual cup. They are only made so that way you can go about your day and God forbid you leak out of your cup just a little bit or your tampon or something like that. These will stop the leaking so that way, you know, you can make it to the bathroom and do whatever you need to do instead of having an accident. With that being said, these are great for that. They do work for light leaking, very much so. Or if you're like me, they do work for, you know, that period of time before your period when you're ovulating and you have sticky discharge or watery discharge. I get that when I'm ovulating. So, or any time of the month when you have that issue, these work really well for that as well. So you don't, you know, have any moisture getting through or anything like that. So I will say that these Anigen underwear, which are really affordable, I will say that they're great for leaking, they're great for the discharge and all of that, but they are not supposed to be used or advertised to be used in place of a tampon or a pad when you're bleeding. So with that being said, these are great for backups, but they're not great for being like, I wouldn't call it a period panty, I would call it a backup panty. So another thing I will say real quickly about the Anigen underwear is that the smell is a little bit stronger with these, and I'm not sure if it's because nothing's being absorbed into the underwear and it just kind of sits on top, or what the difference is, but I did notice a stronger smell. But again, if you're only using them what they're supposed to be used for, which is just as backups, you shouldn't have the issues. I do still use this in my arsenal of going through my period. Like anytime where I'm wearing my cup and I'm like medium light bleeding, I'll stick these on because I know like, okay, if I do have a little bit leaking, these will stop it. So I do like the Anigen underwear, but again, they're not supposed to be like THINX underwear or the Eva underwear, which I'm about to talk about. Like they're just supposed to be for possible leaks. Moving on to the underwear that I'm reviewing this month, I Love Generation Me contacted me and told me that they started carrying another period panty. The owner knew that I, you know, was interested in finding a better period panty and more affordable period panty to share past the THINX because of my frustrations with them, and they got a new brand in and they wanted to share them with you guys. So she sent me 2 pairs of the Eva underwear. This is what they look like. They're both in black. I don't think she carries nude yet. I could be wrong, but for now I do know that they have black. She sent me the Carefree Hipster in small and then also the Carefree Bikini in small. And you'll see if you watch the upcoming clips, the fits are pretty on in regards to like the hipster is more full coverage and the bikini is definitely like a bikini coverage. If I were to purchase more or when I purchase more, I will definitely be getting the hipster ones because I just like a little bit more full coverage back there, especially since I've been lifting. My butt's gotten a little bit bigger, my thighs have gotten a little bit bigger, so I need a little bit more coverage to feel comfortable. I will say that the sizing runs a little bit small. The smallest size that they carry is a size small, whereas THINX underwear carries extra smalls, which is what I wear in THINX underwear. So the small fits me pretty well. So if you're an extra small, a small should work. And then if you're a medium, maybe consider, I mean, look at the sizing chart, but maybe consider a large. Don't like quote me on that, but I'm just, in my experience, I'm usually an extra small, but the smalls are like snug on me. First off, right off the bat, the differences between the Eva underwear and the THINX underwear, which I think are amazing, is the fact that the material of the Eva underwear on the outside is not slippery. Like I said in the THINX underwear review, the outside of this is like a bathing suit material, which is fine, except for the fact that I like to wear skinny jeans, and not all the time do I like to wear high-waisted. Sometimes they're like low-waisted or mid-waisted, and sometimes with slippery underwear like this, my jeans like slip down more, whereas with underwear that's not slippery, it stays up more. So my underwear doesn't show or my pants don't go down like when I crouch down or squat or do things like that. So I really like the material of the Eva underwear better. Also right off the bat, the lacing and trim around the Eva underwear for decoration is way more durable, and it's not on the top of the waistband, which I love. I hate the THINX underwear's lace on their waistband. I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. Every single one of my pairs of underwear have holes in them for my thumbs when I'm pulling them up, just going right through the lace. And I've heard that they have changed the waistband on them, but it still looks like some type of lacy material. but like I have 3 holes right here. So that was really disappointing to me. Like for a pair of underwear that's almost $30 and now the underwear that's over $30, the fact that this happens to the waistband after the first and second and third and fourth and fifth use is kind of disappointing. Like I get what they were trying to do with being like all fancy and stuff, but I think Eva underwear really hit the nail on the head when they made the lace down here instead of up at the top on the waistband, which needs to be more durable. Definitely disappointed with THINX. I also wish that they would have like offered, like if they did change the design because of this reason, like why wouldn't you tell your customers and like say, hey, why don't we replace your underwear for you or give you a discount of some sort or something like that, because this happened to every single one of the pairs of underwear that I bought myself with my own money, and I was like, ugh. But back then I didn't know about Eva underwear or any other period panty that was effective, so I just kept buying more. Another difference between the Eva underwear and the THINX underwear, which I love, 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 is that the padding goes from front to back, like all the way. The thickness that, the padding in the crotch, which is not super thick, but it is thicker, it's as thick as the THINX, goes all the way from the back to the front. So unlike the THINX underwear, which kind of stops, like, it kind of stops at the seam on each end, this is gonna carry you from the entire way. So if you're a front bleeder, if you're a back bleeder when you're sleeping, like you'll have full protection either way. So I really like that aspect of these as well, and I think that is just like awesome. And it doesn't add any extra bulk in my butt or the front. Like you can't even tell that I'm wearing any protection down there. Those are the off the bat differences that I really like about the Eva underwear versus the THINX, and also they are more affordable. So with that being said, I will leave the links for I Love Generation Me down below if you want to buy some Eva underwear. I will leave the links to the Anigan underwear as well for backups, and I will leave the link for THINX in case you guys do want to, you know, buy THINX. That's up to you. My personal opinions about a company and their, you know, whatever, you know, doesn't affect the product at all. Like if the product's good, then I encourage you to use it, you know, and it's just up to you whether or not you want to support the company. So I will leave links for all 3 of these things below. If you want to see me using these underwear, keep watching. As you know, if you're used to these videos, I like to do kind of a realistic clip of showing you the blood and me wearing them for a certain period amount of time. With these underwear, since I only had 2 pairs, I tried my hardest to wear them for my period, but unfortunately, like I had wash and my husband was sick and then he was out of town for business and then my son got sick, so it was really hard for me to keep up with that. I did manage to free bleed overnight for a whole like 12 hours in them, and I also managed to stay a whole day for like 13 hours with them as well, so that way you guys could see how well they held up in the blood. So if you want to see those clips, keep watching. Again, they're very bloody. I show you everything, which to me is absolutely normal, but if you're not comfortable in seeing stuff like that, then click the link below and that'll skip to my final thoughts at the end of what I really thought about these period panties. And for those of you who do watch both things, if you notice that I repeat myself from the clips to the end, it's just so that the people who skip to the end don't miss any of my final thoughts or my, you know, opinions about the product. So keep watching if you want, or skip to the end. So it's day 1 of my period. It is March 11th. I wasn't expecting my period to start until Monday, so this is a little bit of a surprise. It's 3:41 p.m. I actually had that stereotypical worst case scenario period starting moment today where I'd just gone to the gym. I'd worked out there for an hour and a half. I'm wearing like skin tight workout pants right now. Luckily they're dark gray. Actually, I can just show you. This is what I'm wearing right now. And I went to the gym. I was there for an hour and a half. It was leg day, so I was like bending over to do all this other stuff. I went to the bathroom, however, before I left, so I didn't notice any blood then. And then I went to the grocery store and was in the parking lot, and I was talking to John and talking to some other people before going into the grocery store, and I was like, oh, I gotta pee. So I went and pee, and wouldn't you know it, there was a ton of dark blood. Like I'm medium flowing right now, just in my underwear and on my capris. I leaked through a little bit, but it wasn't enough for you to see. So I was already at the grocery store and I didn't want to make another trip out because it's freezing cold outside. So I just shoved toilet paper up there and wrapped toilet paper around my underwear, like the crotch area, to make sure if anything leaked through. And I rushed through the grocery store as fast as I could, waddling around, hoping that nobody could see a bulge in my capris, and now I'm home. So I am going to put on this pair of Eva underwear. I believe these are just the bikini cut. I don't remember, but I think they're just bikini cut. And I'm gonna put these on and I'll free bleed into them. The other pair I actually wore last night to bed just in case I started my period. So I'll have to wash those while I'm wearing these so that I can test these out for you. So I'm gonna free bleed right now. I'm medium bleeding, first day period, and what a great way to start my period this month. So this is what the underwear looks like. I am not quite sure what this cut is. I want to say it's the bikini cut. I do think that they run a tad bit small. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think they run a little small because this is a size small, not an even extra small, and it's just kind of like barely getting up there. I usually wear an extra small in Victoria's Secret, so I don't know. I have also been working out, as you guys know, and so my butt's gotten a little bit bigger, but my THINX underwear in extra small seem to fit me perfectly well, so I don't know. It might just be the bikini cut. I'll have to try on the other ones and show you guys, but this one definitely is like riding a little bit low. But again, it might just be the bikini cut. I haven't worn these yet. So yeah, I will say though, maybe run a little bit small. Maybe. I don't know. So I didn't check in last night because I actually didn't really bleed for some reason. Like, I don't understand. I was like medium bleeding when I leaked into, well, when I was unprepared, I didn't have anything on. But yeah, I think because I was laying down with John because he was sick and stuff, and I was laying down and we watched a movie yesterday evening, I think that I wasn't bleeding downward all too much. So I didn't update last night. Instead, I wore the underwear to bed. I know some of you guys are like, oh my gosh, you didn't change your underwear from like 3 o'clock to the next morning. Whatever. I didn't have any blood in there, so I was like, well, I'm not going to waste, because I only have 2 pairs of these to cycle through for, you know, to show you guys how effective they are. So I decided, well, I'm just going to try sleeping overnight with them, which for me was very scary because you guys know I love my bed and I love my sheets. I put a lot of faith in these underwear because they do have the padding that goes, not padding, but because they do have the protection that goes from the entire front to back. I was like, okay, we'll try this. Yeah, so it feels pretty wet down there, especially since I stood up and stuff kind of gushed down. Again though, I'm a back sleeper, and I felt some stuff up my like butt crack, but not terrible. So I'm going to get on the toilet and we'll show you guys what's down there. Alright, so that is all the blood. As you can see, there's some really dark blood, there's some really thick, clotty kind of blood. It went up the backside to probably like about here, it looks like. I would say that this is more absorbent than the THINX underwear, honestly, because when I bled this much in the THINX underwear, it pooled more, or it started getting to the edges a lot faster. This, obviously, there's a little bit that's dry here and a little bit on this edge, so I would say that that was pretty darn effective. So normally before I would throw these down the laundry chute to put in the laundry or soak in a cold soak, I like to wipe off like the top layer of blood. So there's to show you like how much of it was clotty and stuff like that. And this is pretty soaked through, like it feels cool on the other side, but it doesn't feel wet at all. Like it's definitely holding the blood in. Now I am just gonna say that I would not, even though I was medium bleeding overnight, I don't think I would suggest wearing these alone throughout an entire 12-hour night without a backup if you are a heavy bleeder. I think that these would be perfect for people who are low bleeding to bleed into by themselves, or even medium if you feel brave enough. But if you're medium to heavy at night still, just throw on a cup or a tampon or something like that, because I think definitely for heavy bleeders, I don't know if I would want to take that chance of possibly overflowing, because I know for me, when I was a super heavy bleeder, I didn't even trust super like absorbent pads. Like I would still leak over with pads. But just like pads, these panties can only go so far and be bled into for so long and for so much. So even though it says, yes, you can free bleed in these and whatever, I would just forewarn those people who are super, super heavy that you still do take the chance of leaking over just like you would a pad. Like I remember those days where I was a super pad and I would have to wake up at midnight or at 2 o'clock in the morning because I'd feel wet, and sure enough I was about to leak over, or I did already leak over, and I'd have to put a towel down and all of that. But for light to light medium, and a medium, because that's what I was last night, I mean, it worked really, really well. Alright guys, so this is what the hipster looks like on. It's just a little bit thicker cut in the hip area, of course. So yeah, that is what that looks like. I actually had to wear a pad earlier today. It's about 5 o'clock right now because my other pair was not dry yet from last night. So now I am wearing the second pair. The other ones are in the dryer right now for me to wear tonight. Right now I do have an organic regular size tampon in. So I thought, because I am going out to dinner with my friend, I'm going to be out for a few hours, I didn't want to be super uncomfortable. I didn't want to have to worry about leaking so while I'm out in public. So I am wearing the tampon as a backup, just so that way, for those of you who don't use cups but do use tampons, you can see kind of what the underwear catches from a tampon leaking. So I do have that in, and I'll bring a few as backups as well, just in case if I feel like I'm gonna leak over. I don't think I'm going to though, because last night I bled a substantial amount and the underwear held up fine. So I will update you guys when I get home from dinner and all that. Alright guys, so just like a lot of things in life, my period is not going as planned. I thought I would be really heavy today, and I thought I would bleed through a regular tampon like I did earlier this morning, but apparently that's not happening. I got home from dinner and running errands with my daughter and going grocery shopping about 20 minutes ago. It's 10 o'clock. I left at 5:45 from here, so it's been like 4 hours. 3.5 hours, I don't know, it's been around there, and there's no blood in the panties to update you on. So just free bleed into these underwear, and then I will update you guys tomorrow morning, and then all tomorrow, since I don't really have anything like super important outside of the home to get to, all tomorrow I'll free bleed into the underwear again, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how they handle during the day when I'm walking around and stuff like that, without any backup. But honestly, I gotta say, I think these things will be perfectly fine. If you're light to medium bleeding, just free bleeding into for at least 6 to 7 hours. So, yeah. Alright guys, so it is Monday. It is 9 o'clock at night. I started wearing the hipster Eva underwear at 7 o'clock this morning. I didn't update this morning from last night because for some reason I don't know why, but my bleeding slowed up. My period's not behaving, but I was a medium flow all day today, and I have never been more uncomfortable, and not because of the underwear, but because for testing reasons, I was like, I'm gonna keep these underwear on for at least 12 hours, if not more, to see like how far I can push them. So I would never wear a pad for that long without changing it, let alone underwear that I'm bleeding in. So I have been, I do it for you guys, that's for sure, but I have been medium bleeding all day, like medium as in when I sit down to pee, blood drips into the bowl, and when I wipe, there's always blood on my toilet paper. And I did not leak at all, guys. I did not leak. I do have some blood. Like you can't see because they're black, but that's the only color they come in. It bled past the seam, and it bled up here past the seam. And you can see like that darker red and how like dark and wet it looks in the center. It did get onto some of the trim, however, so I was probably at my end of how much my underwear could take. But it held everything in, guys. It held everything in. I'm really impressed by these underwear. When I wasn't thinking about the fact that I hadn't changed my underwear or pad or whatever you want to call, like preface it to, when I wasn't thinking in my head like, oh my gosh, I'm going 12 hours like bleeding into this thing without changing it, I wasn't too uncomfortable. I did have moments where I could feel myself like kind of wet or cold down there, but again, it's no different than wearing a dirty pad. I'm really impressed with these underwear. I cannot wait to take them off though and wash them and rinse them out, because I just feel so gross right now, because again, I've been wearing them for 13 hours. I want to take a shower so bad right now. But yeah, they worked. I didn't leak. I sat on my light linen couches, like not even like worrying about it. I wore them last night with a light tampon, so pretty effective. So as you saw, like I said, I did not do a full period in these panties, but I feel like I tested them out enough for you guys to really see if they work. I love these underwear so much. I'm so grateful to I Love Generation Me for thinking about me and keeping me in mind, and because I would not have found these if she wouldn't have said something to me. I mean, granted, one of you guys probably would have mentioned to me sooner or later, or I would have maybe stumbled across them when I was looking for more period products to try, but these are super affordable, they're super comfortable, they're cute, they work. I did not have any leaking onto my underwear. Granted, I wasn't super heavy this period, but I was substantial. You guys saw in that clip, there's a lot of blood. They held up throughout the entire night. Like, you guys know me, I don't usually try products like willy-nilly without any extra backup overnight on my bed, and I did because I really trusted that these would work. Just like a thought, like a feeling in me thought that they would work because they are so well made and because the padding does go from front to back. I really, really like these underwear. I'm so happy that they exist. I, again, love that they're not slippery on the outside. It makes a huge difference, especially when I'm wearing like sweatpants with them too. Whenever I would wear sweatpants or anything with a looser band, like my pants would just slide right down this like shiny bathing suit material of the THINX. Look at that. I have holes all around this thing. Like, I'm not trying to be like negative Nancy here, but there's holes everywhere around these underwear. I do love the Eva underwear. I think they're great. I do wish that they came in maybe a smaller size for younger girls. Like, I'm a size 25 waist. I usually wear extra small in like Victoria's Secret underwear just to give you a reference of how these fit on me. I'm 130 pounds, 5'3", that kind of thing. So these would fit probably a lot of teenagers, but like for my daughter who's a stick, these probably would not stay up on her waist. So I hope that they consider coming out with maybe a tween line or something like that. I mean, girls are starting their periods so much sooner in life, so I would love that. And then another negative I would say, which isn't a huge deal, is that I do wish that they offered more designs, or not designs, but more types of underwear. Like the hipster ones, I wish they did kind of like a boy short cheeky or something that was more full coverage, because even the hipster ones are not completely full coverage for me, but if I went up a size, I know that they would be too loose in my waistband. But I think for women and transgender men who, you know, maybe prefer a more fuller coverage, it'd be nice if Eva came out with just a more fuller coverage, like a boy short or something like that. So that would be my only really negative thing to say about this underwear, is that I wish they were more available to different younger age groups, and then again, more designs and fits for a wider group or range of men and women. So so there's that. And speaking of men and women, when I mention men in these videos, I've had a lot of negativity on some of these videos, which I've just deleted, because this is like a zero tolerance platform, guys. Like, I have no tolerance for racism, bigotry, homophobia. I have no tolerance for any of that. So if you leave something like that, I will block your ass so fast. I will delete your comments. Like that, it has no place here. So when I mention men in these videos, a lot of you guys have been confused, and just, you know, just some of you have been nasty about it. And I just want to say that when I'm talking about men, I'm talking about a wide range of men. I know I have male viewers here because I've had numerous fathers email me telling me that they're thankful for these videos and talking to their teens because there's not a mom around or a female presence in their lives. There are many transgender men who still have their periods who have thanked me as well, and I know watch these videos and deserve to have something more comfortable to deal with their periods. There are all sorts of men who watch these videos, so that's who I'm addressing when I say men or transgender men or whatever in these videos. We are not female exclusive here anymore, guys. There are husbands who are super sweet watching these videos for their wives, trying to understand, you know, that side. And I just like to say that I think that's great for all of you out there. I think that's awesome that you're taking notice in a loved one or yourself's body and wanting to help them, you know, navigate this kind of stuff. Like, I just think that's really cool. So yeah, I did want to mention that because I've gotten a lot of confusion of why I keep throwing those gender specific words out in these videos. So yeah, but again, like I said, I have zero tolerance for any negativity along any of those lines. So yeah, I even have, I think, like a keyword blocker. Like, if you say certain keywords, like it's just blocked on the comments anyways. I'm all inclusive here, and I think that it'd be great if, you know, period panties and menstrual cups and tampons and stuff like that maybe became more all-inclusive as well. That's just a thought from me. But yeah, I don't have any complaints about how the product actually works. I absolutely love them. I would highly suggest trying them. I would highly suggest using them. And that's about that. So if you have any questions at all, please make sure to leave them below. If you have any period product suggestions or you've come across something that you think I should try, let me know. I am planning on doing a video in the next week or two. I know I said this in the last last video, but I promise you, like, it's on my calendar to do, and I have certain products I want to talk about in the video, so I have to do it. But I have a video coming up on period products that I've been using, period products that I love and that actually work for me and that I think would work for others. Just like my favorites and all out, just the standouts of all the things I've tried so far and all the things that I've been sent. Because I have tried a lot of the products that I've been sent, but I just haven't talked about them in a dedicated video just because I can only have one period in a month. So yeah, so there you have it. Period panties, yay! Who's excited about period panties? I'm pretty excited about period panties. Maybe a company should come out with period boxer briefs or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, that has kind of like the period panty built into a boxer or boxer brief. Would that be a new company I should start? If I were craftier or better with like making clothing, I would totally try to tackle that. And if I was a better businesswoman, but if anybody wants to go in on that with me, let me know. I got ideas in my head. I got ideas. We could work together. We could make something great. So anyways, there is that for you. My dog is barking at somebody, so that's probably my cue to let you guys go. If you like videos like this, if you've been enjoying the period series, please make sure to give this a thumbs up. Comment below. I've really appreciated all the support and love I've gotten from you guys, and I hope you guys can feel it through my videos, like right back at you. Like, I love you guys. It's just been great. I love this community. So yeah, subscribe if you want to see more videos. I post period videos at least once a month, obviously, because I bleed once a month. And then, like I said, I do sometimes intermix other things period related and endometriosis related in my throughout the months as well. And I post 2 to 3 times weekly, just about anything and everything. So subscribe if you like, hit that little notification bell next to it, because YouTube has changed their policies for some reason. I guess unless you hit that bell, they don't push your videos anymore to your subscribers, which I think is really weird. So yeah, I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Love you. Thank you for watching. Bye.